Hey bird dogs, it's Ellie here, and today I'm actually going to be talking to you about a program, a little mastermind that was recently started for the bird dog real estate community. And it's not to say that anyone outside of the bird dog real estate community cannot join, it's just this was catered towards people who are already familiar with bird dogs and everything like that. Hello, book underscore jet underscore team, how are you? Thank you for joining the live. But this, uh, David Hernandez family, hello, how are you? This will be on a replay for you all. You'll be able to rewatch it. It'll be in our IGTV. I will be reposting it also on the Facebook page, and that'll get reposted into the Facebook group, Bird Dog Real Estate. So make sure if you have to click in and out of the live stream, or if this is your first time seeing it and you're watching the replay, welcome. And so, yes, this is for wholesalers who have been wholesaling by themselves. I call those people solo wholesalers. I was one myself, still currently am one, and transitioning back into having a bird dog team. Now, the question here is, why should you start a wholesale real estate business? Now, like I just said, there's a lot of us who are out here. We are what I like to call solo wholesalers. That is, you do your own campaigning, you send out your own letters, you find your own leads, you go to your appointments by yourself, you are also your own dispositions manager, you're the one building your buyers list, you're the one finding the different lists and everything for you to have more leads. You're doing everything by yourself, and pretty much you're your own employee. You're self-employed. So my idea is to transition from being self-employed into having a business. What's the benefit in that? First of all, you really would like to have flexibility when you're doing all that, because doing it myself, seeing other people doing it, it becomes a lot of work when you're doing everything yourself in that way, especially as a wholesaler, and then those leads start coming in, you have to keep up with it and everything like that. So why not have a team, and why not utilize bird dogs to build your team and start your business? So solo wholesaling has a cap. You can only do so much by yourself, and I understand that there's systems and different things like that for you to be able to wholesale by yourself and everything like that. I apologize for the fly. That's a little distracting. I apologize if I get distracted. But when you are doing things by yourself, there's only so much you can do. And I do understand that, like I said, there's systems and everything. You can set up automation, all that type of thing for you to be able to continue to wholesale by yourself. But do you want to do that? Especially in the climate we're in now. I will get to that a little bit later, but there's going to be a lot more leads that you can potentially touch. So you can only do so much by yourself, as far as like doing paperwork, visiting properties, meeting with sellers, all that type of thing. There's only so much you can do yourself. So there's a cap to being a solo wholesaler. Delegation is helpful. Why wouldn't you want to delegate doing certain things? So let's just say you've already talked to the seller, you've already had certain type of conversation with them where you're at a certain price point. You just have to verify whether what the seller is saying is true or not. So let's just say you're busy. Let's say you have a closing that day, and the only time that the property is going to be available to look at is at that same time that you have a closing. Well, if you go send a bird dog to it, they can still go get pictures and videos and everything of the property. All you need is the actual footage of the property if the seller can provide it to you. So, delegation is very helpful in that case. Or let's just say it's the same exact situation. You have a closing that you have to be present at. Okay? You can send a bird dog there who is on their way to transitioning to being an acquisitions manager to get the contract, because let's say it's an elderly person who owns that property and they're not technologically advanced. There you go. So delegation is very helpful. And automation creates opportunity. So like I said, I understand, being a solo wholesaler, you can have certain different types of automation systems and different things like that. Nothing wrong with it. But in the six-figure bird dog system for wholesalers mastermind, we talk about automation in a little different way. It's a little more creative, and it's a little bit more, it's hands-on at first, of course, but it becomes hands-off once you get things rolling. So I'm a firm believer that you should have your own website. I know programs like Investor Care. I think Sean Terry has programs where you can create a website, and it already has certain types of real estate SEO. The thing is, that's pretty saturated, and so when you're dependent on the SEO from those programs and everything, you're competing with other people who also have those programs. And I know they've been around for several years, and so that's a lot of competition with that particular type of automation. So if you were to create your own website and build your own online audience and different things like that, the way that I show you in the mastermind group, then you'll be able to cater to what you need specifically. So what your sellers may need specifically, the people who you've been targeting and retargeting, what they need specifically, you can add that to your website instead of depending on what somebody else has already programmed. Nothing wrong with it. You can have the same type of website. You can go ahead and use Investor Carrot or whatever other people are already using. It's just you have to tweak it a certain way for the climate that we're all adjusting to and for your own business. And also, by starting a wholesale real estate business, you're providing opportunity for other people. So I know other people like to use VAs, and whether that be a virtual assistant that is out of the country, out of the state, whatever your deal is with having a virtual assistant. Those are great. I know they can be very, very helpful. Even one of the moderators in our group, she has a VA company, so she hires out her VAs or she does VA work herself. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But as far as having bird dogs and boots on the ground, you really need somebody who can be in tune with the climate you're in. So if you have someone who's local to that city, they'd be way more of an asset to you rather than a VA who is just doing a job. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with doing that job. Most likely they're going to be skip tracing or cold calling, doing things like that. But when you have someone who has boots on the ground, they'll be able to point out things to you that you didn't see before. And if you want to, you can add a little bonus in their check, different things like that. And that'll entice them to either stay with you longer in your business, or just for them to advance as a wholesaler, because your bird dogs eventually become wholesalers. As they advance into becoming a wholesaler, you're just strengthening that relationship so they can send you their wholesale deals once they advance to that next level. So you're providing more opportunity for somebody else, whether they stay with you and your company for 5 months or 5 years. You're adding value to somebody else's life, and in turn, that is also providing value for you. Start all over again. Nah, you funny, pal. Hey, what's up? You funny. You can watch the replay later. I'm gonna have it in IGTV. Okay. Credibility is more prominent when you have a team. So if you are approaching a seller, it's like I said, the way that the climate is changing in our industry, well, not just our industry, our entire world is changing. People are going to be more skeptical. So if you are talking about how you have a team, people automatically find you more credible, because if you have employees on your team, or even if you refer to them as independent contractors, you even can explain what you have going on. You're like, I have an acquisitions manager, I have some bird dogs. They're like, what's a bird dog? You can just explain to them, like, they pretty much help me with everything I do in my company, and they'd be like, oh, okay. That automatically adds credibility to you and your name, okay? So that is like one of those bonuses that isn't necessarily needed, but that'll give you the upper hand over a solo wholesaler, that term that I used earlier. So if someone's working by themselves and the seller's asking them certain types of questions, and then they talk to you, then it'll be like, well, they have people that they're employing, they have people they're working with. Let me just go ahead and work with them just because I like that concept. So you already have the upper hand, and you don't have to say, oh, we're this big company, we're doing all this big stuff. You can just say, no, I have 2 or 3 bird dogs on my team, I have an acquisitions manager or whatever, that type of thing. So yeah, it automatically adds credibility to your name. Now, this is what I was referring to earlier. Hold on. Nice background. Versace. Man, I wish we can get some Versace. Wait till 2021, okay? I'm kidding. I don't know if I'm going to get Versace, but we are definitely upgrading this stuff back here. Anyway. More leads are coming. Okay? You guys already know how the climate of 2020 is right now. So this is what I was referring to earlier. The way that our economy is going, the way that the real estate market is going, the way that the way of life period is going, there's going to be so much real estate available. You will need assistance, okay? This will not be like, it'll be so easy for solo wholesalers to make money, but then it's going to be so hard for them to be able to sustain being a solo wholesaler. Because let's just say people start putting out more and more campaigns. Let's just say March 2021, okay? Let's guess March 2021. The leads are going to come in like this, and they're going to lose momentum. They're going to lose momentum. But if you have a team, you guys can keep up. Just like this. So at the same time that you get a lead, you'll be able to close on that lead. See what I'm saying? So, I am doing something with you guys to help all of us adjust to that next step. So we're all adjusting to what we're about to be prepared for. I have not been in real estate all that long, so I got kind of lucky to be involved in the flood of leads that's going to be coming in, but at the same time, I'm also aware that a lot of people aren't ready for that. So I feel like it's my responsibility, having the platform that we all have, the community, the Bird Dog Real Estate community that we all share. If I don't say anything, that's me being irresponsible, and that's me not sharing enough information for you guys. Okay. You are so yams, marry me. Man, look. You can go ahead and get out the comments if you ain't gonna be serious. Keep it real estate only on this page. We professional over here, you know what I'm saying? Alright. Practice deal structure for future purposes. So, with having a team, well, let's just go back to being a solo wholesaler. When you're a solo wholesaler, you only have so much time to do whatever you're doing in your solo wholesale real estate operation. It's really a side hustle if you're doing it by yourself. You're not operating as a business, so you're self-employed and it's a side hustle. Even if it's your main hustle, it's a hustle if you're doing it by yourself, okay? But when you have a team, you are delegating certain tasks to other people so you can focus on what you need to focus on to upgrade. And that's what we're going to be doing in the mastermind over the next few years. This isn't a mastermind where, where we get some people in, I cash out, and I don't talk to you guys for ever. That's not what this is. This is a community, a sub-community of Bird Dog Real Estate, where we're going to be working together over the next few years to structure our businesses to where all these solo wholesalers who we can get into the group, where we all become Bird Dog team members, Bird Dog team structurers. We are wholesalers who have Bird Dog teams and businesses, rather than being solo wholesalers who close a deal every once in a while and it's a big deal and you gotta post your check and be like, yo, I'm doing deals out here. Nothing wrong with doing that. I'ma still do it. There's nothing wrong with posting a check or a deposit or nothing like that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. But when you're doing things sporadically, I don't want that for anybody else in our community. Of course, there's still going to be people who are in that position. I just expect people who are like that to be newer wholesalers. Like I said, nothing wrong with it. I want people in my mastermind to have closed 7 to 10 deals like me. I'm not trying to teach anyone how to wholesale. There's plenty of coaches out there for that. I've already recommended all of them. I know several of them in Memphis. There's several of them in Texas, all over the country, who I've already recommended to you guys. So I'm not here to teach you how to wholesale. I'm just here to help you transition from being a solo wholesaler to having a wholesale real estate business with a Bird Dog team specifically. Okay? So that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. Thank you all for watching. Y'all are so funny, man. Just join the mastermind. We can joke and stuff in the mastermind. I'm not about to joke on the platform when I'm trying to share quality information here. But it is a mastermind group, so it's not gonna be something like we had in the Bird Dog Experts group. That is free now, so if you are a Bird Dog, you just happen to watch through this entire video, the Bird Dog Experts group is free. Also, for the wholesalers who want to join the mastermind, the Bird Dog Experts group is free, so you can send your bird dogs there to get some extra training along with the guide that you will be getting when you join the mastermind, okay? So, if you have any questions, feel free to send a DM or send an email to birddogrealestateinvesting@gmail.com. But you can send a DM on Instagram, on Facebook, or you can send me a message directly on my Facebook page. That's Tiara Ellie at Real Talk with Ellie with 2 Ks. So Yeah, I will see you on the next one. I appreciate you so much. And everybody's called a bird dog on this platform. So that's why I'm saying bye, bird dogs. What's up, bird dog family? So, if you were online yesterday, you probably saw the live stream, IGTV video, or even the Facebook re-upload of the first video segment of this little thing we have going on here. Today is the second video, and there will be 3 more videos after this one, just explaining a little bit further what we will be doing in our mastermind and the principles we will be following after. So today, the question of the day is, why should you have bird dogs on your team? Now, I have a few points for this, but regardless, though, why wouldn't you want to have it on your team? Because it's like you build your own little family and stuff like that. Because they don't go away. Trust me. If you do a good job as a investor, as a wholesaler, having a bird dog team, they won't go away. They'll just become wholesalers and sing you deals. So that's just how it goes. But regardless, here we go. Task delegation. So the term that I had shared with you all yesterday, for my hustlers out there, you guys and we are called solo wholesalers, as if you're doing everything by yourself. Like I said, I'm still one myself. I'm doing my marketing, my mail outs, and the skip tracing, all that type of stuff. I'm doing all that by myself right now. So I'm what is referred to as a solo wholesaler, and that is what a lot of people are doing. So you are then taking a lot of the tasks you're doing, whether that's bandit signs, putting flyers on doors, task delegation. You want to free up your time from doing all of that stuff and have your bird dogs do it. How do you say that? The U.S. Elijah. Hi. Thank you for joining the live. So the next point is flexible hiring. So when you hire a VA or you hire an office assistant, you hire, different people who have specifically like a W-2, W-9 type of job, you have to make sure you follow by certain guidelines, and there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all, because you can hire your bird dogs like that with that type of paperwork and everything according to the government. But depending on how your deal flow is, you may not want to do that. You may not want to have a specific way of payment in that way. But with bird dogs, everything is very, very durable. So you can hire them as a freelancer. You can hire them as what's it called, a 1099 document instead of the W-9 document. And it can be also per task that they do. I know it's the gray area as far as getting paid per closing, and that, you really have to take that up with your local laws and everything. For myself, I really don't see an issue with it, but that is the problem that people will bring up when it comes to bird dogs. But you have your hiring flexibility in that way, so you don't necessarily have to keep them on the clock for specific things all the time. You can be like, hey, can you get this done within this certain time? They can be like, yeah. Or, depending on the situation, if you have an appointment that you have to meet, you can just pay them for that appointment. So you have flexible hiring opportunities. And this is my favorite part of it. You have your mentorship and apprenticeship relationship. So I know some people may not want to mentor their employees, but I don't really see how you can't. I'm the type of person who would like to develop a business where I'm working around people who want to do better for themselves. I don't want to have employees who want to stay with me for 30 years in the same position. That just doesn't make any logical sense to me. I understand if they do a good job, you'd want them to stay there, but at the same time, they're still a human being. You want them to do better. So when you have bird dogs on your team, you can use that as an opportunity to mentor someone, and they may want to stay with you for a while, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you are at least equipping them with the opportunities and tools that they need so they can elevate themselves and either start a bird dog business or become also a wholesaler themselves. At the very least, you would like for them to be able to upgrade to being your acquisitions manager, where they're able to go get deals on their own or have their own bird dog team, so where they can bring deals for the business. You will want them to be able to get up to that level. Tag.716. Hey, how you doing? Thank you for joining the live. Okay, so after that point of having apprenticeship and all that type of thing, they would be a future wholesaler. That means you would be getting deals in the future. So I don't know how a lot of people see getting into real estate investing, but how I got into it was my husband wanted to start franchises, and then it became residential real estate. Then it became was flip houses. Then it started to be, we got a wholesale because we don't have money, and then we found out about bird dogging. Then the whole point was to go back that way to owning the franchises and everything. Things change, but still the vision is there. So you want things to get bigger constantly, and so when you are a wholesaler, you eventually want to start buying houses. Where's a good place/source to find bird dogs? Honestly, in the bird dog real estate group on Facebook, we have over 10,000 members now. But really making like Craigslist posts, even posts on your Facebook page if you have a network of people who are in the real estate industry or people who want to get into the real estate investing industry but they're new and they don't know what to do to be a wholesaler. You can be like, hey, I have this opportunity for you. You can make this amount of money with me. You can do these types of tasks with me, and at the same time, I can teach you about real estate investing and that type of thing. So, yeah. But otherwise, let me see. Like Bigger Pockets, I think they don't have like a structure to find bird dogs specifically, but you can, look for people who are looking for apprenticeships or just beginner wholesalers. To me, you're not considered a wholesaler until you've actually assigned a contract to you, closed a deal. People will call themselves a wholesaler without closing a deal. So, beginner wholesalers are bird dogs to me. That's my opinion. But yeah, let me see. There's Bigger Pockets. Where else? What other platforms? Connectedinvestor.com. I think that's all I can think of at the moment. But primarily Bird Dog Real Estate on Facebook because like that's the whole community is probably, if not half, more than half of the people in there are bird dogs. So depending on your city, just be like, hey, I'm from, San Francisco or whatever. Then yeah, got it. Thank you. No problem. So yes, deals in the future. So when you have someone who's working with you, they know your wholesaling style and everything, and then you eventually want to start buying those properties or flipping those properties, renting out those properties. You don't have to have the bird dog team anymore if you don't want to. They're already sending you deals once they become a wholesaler themselves. So that is why you would want to be a mentor or have an apprentice, somebody who can work under you, figure out exactly what you like, and you and your partners, because let's just say they're awesome and they're able to hire a bunch of bird dogs in their little wholesale business or in their bird dog business or whatever, and now you and your friends are upgrading your investing type of level, and then you guys have like this awesome network of deals coming in, so you guys don't have to work as hard to get your deals. So that's where the benefit comes in. Save this video, please, and thank you. Hey, it'll be on IGTV, it'll be on Facebook, and it'll be on YouTube if you join the mastermind. Figures_6, hello, welcome. Thank you for joining the live. Okay, getting back to the original question, why should you have bird dogs on your team? Boots on the ground. So, like I mentioned in the last video, nothing against VAs. I think VAs are a great resource if you need certain tasks to be done at an inexpensive price. Prop Tech BNC. Oh, I can't pronounce that, but welcome. Hello, welcome to the live. But yeah, so VAs are great, but having boots on the ground gives you a different type of advantage in your real estate market. Even if you are a virtual wholesaler, I do understand like some people may not be local to the areas they are investing in. That's even more reason for you to get bird dogs rather than having VAs to look virtually on a map of what you're doing depending on the type of investing you're doing. But having boots on the ground gives you an unfair advantage to what other investors may not have. So let's just say you have people driving for dollars. Well, if you have 2 or 3 people driving for dollars and you have a solo wholesaler over there who's driving for dollars themselves, you can scout 3 or 4 different areas within the same week, whereas that one person can only get so much done by themselves. So you'll see where all the construction is going on. You can see who's moving in and out of where. You can see where a lot of the distressed properties are. You can see what areas are coming up. Like, you can get a lot more done with multiple people with boots on the ground. And you can have them put out your bandit signs and your flyers and stuff like that. So where you covered so much more by having more people, having boots on the ground, that person can only do so much by themselves. So that's one of the biggest benefits. Real Flow, welcome to the live. NXZ and ZNZ, sorry about that, but welcome to the live. And you have your own brand ambassador / your marketing team. Now, going back to the flyering and bandit signs and stuff like that, I'm trying out some experiments as far as marketing with that. I know, like, people would say, like, only use a phone number, stuff like that. I'm doing something a little bit different because it's more about advertising for me than trying to get people to contact me off of the bandit sign. Damn, you big time. You got Real Flow on your lap. I mean, hey, you know what I'm saying? We gotta do it big out here, you know what I'm saying? But, so, if you're, when you take things to the next level, you want to get your team t-shirts, you want to get them, what we did in my previous company, my partner at the time, he had everybody get car magnets, and I don't know how that even went, but it was a good idea. It's a really, really good idea. But he had stickers, and we would flyer different areas and stuff like that. So when you have people who are branding you, and you have people who have, different things on their cars, and you're getting your advertising and stuff out there, you're doing it, that's what you want to do, because you're a company now. You're no longer a solo wholesaler. You can do all that stuff by yourself. But like I said, you're only one person when you're a solo wholesaler. When you have a team of bird dogs doing that stuff for you, when they're not even doing anything, you're already paying them to do the task. If you just say, make sure you wear this shirt when you're out, there you go. You have more marketing, and someone can contact you off of their shirt. They don't even have to talk to them most of the time. They can just see either the logo, they can see your they can see the phone number, whatever it is. So there you go. They'll be able to contact your company, and that's another way of you getting your marketing out. Plus, you can hire brand ambassadors. That is something I would do, like when I was modeling and everything. And so that in itself is a whole job, and you can hire bird dogs to do that specifically. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this live. Thank you everyone who joined. I really do appreciate all of you for being part of the Bird Dog Real Estate family. We're 10,000 strong on Facebook now, and it's really, really is, we got to just, get everybody prepared for the next level. I know some people have been bird dogs this whole time since our group has started, since 2017, and I really want everyone either to transition into being a wholesaler or transition from being a wholesaler, a solo wholesaler, into a wholesaler with bird dogs in their team, or at least just starting like a wholesale business rather than just being a wholesaler by themselves. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, bird dogs. Hey, bird dogs, it's Ellie. So today we're going to be continuing talking about the different benefits and everything of the mastermind group, the six-figure bird dog system for wholesalers. And so today's question is, how can you scale your wholesale real estate business with this strategy? And so I took down a few notes talking about really what we'll be talking about in the mastermind and in the guide and everything. Hi, Rick, home sales expert. How are you? Thanks for joining the live. And so here are the few points. The main word that we're going to be concentrating on is leverage. Okay, so you're leveraging people, time, and resources. Now, people get a kind of a weird vibe when you say you're leveraging people, but think about it. What are you doing in every single real estate transaction? You're leveraging people. Imagine, you could do this. You could do everything like by, I can't say quiet title, but let's just say quick deed. So if someone was to quick deed the house to you, then you quick deed it over to a buyer. Like, you could do it like that without having a title company. But with a title company, you're leveraging their resources and their education and their securities and everything to make sure that the real estate transaction goes through properly. So when you're leveraging bird dogs, it's the exact same thing. And so I really want to get rid of that negative connotation that comes with leveraging people, feeling like it's a bad thing. It's really a good thing, especially when you're taking in all of the benefits that you're giving to that person, okay? And you're also leveraging your time. So by leveraging people, you're leveraging your time. There's less work for you to do when you have bird dogs on your team. So if you're the one going out, putting out bandit signs, putting flyers on doors, doing all of those extra things. When you're leveraging people, bird dogs, you're also saving yourself time. So, by getting other people to do other things for you and with you, you're leveraging your time, okay? And also you're leveraging your resources. Now, this is a little bit different from having bird dogs specifically, because also in the mastermind, aside from having a team, we also talk about your audience and your presence on the internet. With the way things are going and the climate we're in, it's very, very vital for you to have an online presence of some sort. Even if you just have simple social media pages and you don't even have a website, I highly recommend having social media and a website, at the very least an Instagram and Facebook page, possibly a Twitter and a YouTube channel, but Instagram and Facebook are very, very important for really any business in the current climate we're in, with the way the internet is, you know, how everything's gone in 2020. People will want to have a reputable source to be able to back up, like, whether, how, oh, this person is reaching out to me, this company's reaching out to me, I want to use this company, but let me make sure. They're going to do a Google search, and you need to make sure that your company is popping up when they type in your name or your company name, so you're also leveraging your resources. And so, also, when you are scaling your business, with more bird dogs comes more leads. So primarily we talk about your bird dogs going driving for dollars for you. And so when you have one person driving for dollars for you, you know, there's only so much they can do. But as you start getting more leads and more deals closing and everything, you can hire more bird dogs to bring in more leads and therefore more deals. So it keeps going. That you just keep scaling and you keep adding people until, you know, you feel like you have a pretty good team, you have a good deal flow, and you like how things are, you have a solid foundation. There you go. You can just have it structured that way to where you're happy. But I do recommend starting with a team of 3 people, not necessarily 3 people driving for dollars, but 3 people on your team to juggle the different tasks that you all would need to do. And so, like I said, having a solid foundation and having deal flow. So when you have your foundation set, you're making 6 figures in your business, then you can shift into doing other things. So if you are doing the regular type of wholesale transaction that most people are doing, which is assigning your contracts to a buyer, you can then move on to doing things like wholesaling, lease options, different things like that, where you're still not, I mean, with wholesaling, you will own the property for a short period of time, but you're not planning to flip it the same way that a house flipper would. As far as doing a full rehab, you'd just be doing a slight rehab, or you may not even have to rehab the house at all, depending on the condition. You probably just got it at a good deal, a good price, to where you can just put it on the MLS and sell it to someone else. But in most cases, you know, that may not be the case, but it's okay. Once you have that 6-figure business already set up, you'd be able to do more deals like that, to where even you could probably even hire a dispositions manager to take care of the regular wholesale deals, so then you can focus on wholesaling, lease options, even doing some flips, possibly getting some rentals, different things like that. But you want to make sure you have your deal flow in, because you need the cash. You need to make sure you have the cash and capital continuing to build up to where you can continue to pay your team, pay your overhead, continue to purchase the resources that you need for your business to still operate how you need it to. And so here is how everything will work. You have your bird dogs, who can transition into acquisitions. Acquisitions can turn into an independent wholesaler. And then once your bird dogs become independent wholesalers, you would have to do less work. So maybe you want to keep your business the same way. You can continue to hire bird dogs as they, you know, some people may quit. They may be like, you know, this isn't for me, whatever the case may be. You really want to get motivated individuals who actually have a heart for real estate. That's my recommendation, instead of just getting regular employees, but to each his own. But if your bird dogs decide to become actual wholesalers and they can bring you deals, imagine how much less work that is for you. So if you have worked with someone and they know exactly what you want to do in your wholesale strategy or your purchasing strategy at that point, hopefully, they will bring you those exact type of deals. And so that's less work for you, okay? And you're also, in this process, you're building capital for purchases and creative deals. Going back to what I was saying before, you really want to make sure you have cash on hand. And really, the way that everything's going, there's going to be so much real estate on the market, you guys. There's going to be so much real estate on the market within the next 1 to 5 years. It's going to be incredible. That sounds like a great thing, and it is, but it's also one of those situations where, you really have to be courteous and everything and be very mindful of everything that's going on. So, you have to make sure that you are prepared for those deals. You may not even want to wholesale all of them, which is why you would want to have capital built up to where you can either put down for financing or you can purchase with straight cash. And you also have your creative deals where you may not need your own money or at least too much of it, because maybe you are putting down a down payment but you're not paying full cash for a property. So but still, you would want to have your six-figure wholesale business already in order to where you can scale on top of that, to where you can be able to take upon deals like that, okay? And this next point has to do with your online presence and any type of marketing that you may do. Your brand gains momentum, meaning effortless marketing. So when we talk about effortless marketing, that could go whether we're talking about your website or your social media, someone happens to find you, or your recommendations based off of your deals that you're currently doing with you and your team having branding materials, whether that's wearing t-shirts or they have car magnets and everything like that. And you also have that momentum and referrals from other people. So if you've already closed some deals and everything, and people like the way you do business and all that type of thing, they will send their friends to you. They will send their family members to you. And the way that everything's going, like I said, there's going to be plenty of leads, plenty of deals in the market, a lot of listings probably. You'll be able to work with realtors. They'd be able to trust you if your brand has built a reputable reputation and everything like that. So that's pretty much all I have for you today. I know this one was a little bit shorter than the other videos, but it's all good. It's all cool. We got all the points in, and I would really appreciate it if you could share this video, share the other two videos as well. These will be uploaded. Will be on IGTV, re-uploaded to Facebook, and this will also be on YouTube if you are considering joining the six-figure Bird Dog System for Wholesalers Mastermind group. I will see you in the next one, Bird Dogs, and I really appreciate you all for joining. TOCCSL, thank you for joining. The replay will be available right after this. So, yes, bye, Bird Dogs, and I will see you in the next one. Bird Frog. My bad. Hey, Bird Dog family. How y'all doing? So, I'm Ellie, and today is the 4th day that I will be explaining the six-figure Bird Dog System for Wholesalers Mastermind, the different aspects of the group, what we'll be learning about in the group, in the guide that you'll be getting if you decide to join. And so today's question of the day is, how do you pay your bird dogs? And so I just took down a few different tips for you that you can take with you, whether you join the mastermind group or not. And so one of the biggest deals that I know I had to deal with a couple years ago, I had to make a YouTube video on it and everything, is the fact that people think that bird dogging is illegal. They just flat out say bird dogging is illegal, and it's like, that's not the case, okay? Brokering without a license is what is illegal. Now, I do understand that the different practices that certain people do as being a bird dog, it can kind of be considered as brokering without a license. I am guilty of that as well, so what I am doing now is taking my mistakes, showing you guys what to do in the future, the proper protocol to take when it comes to whether you're paying a bird dog or you are a bird dog yourself. Just things we can do to share information, make sure we stay legal, that no one's getting in trouble or anything like that. The last thing I want is for someone to take my advice and it get them in trouble, okay? So we're not teaching brokering with our license, all right? That is not what we're doing. You are not acting as a real estate agent. You're not, bringing any properties to people and getting paid for that property specifically, and not in the way that is illegal, okay? I will teach you how you can do that without getting in trouble, basically. So that'll be at the end of this live stream, at the end of the video, okay? So one of the ways that I used to get paid as a bird dog is I would get paid per lead. Now what that means is you're literally paying the bird dog if they're going, whether it's driving for dollars or they're finding listings on Craigslist for you, um, whether they are gathering people's information for you, and you pay them per lead. This can be anywhere from $1 to $5. Who I was working with, they paid me $3, and I used to pay my bird dogs that I had on my team. I would pay them 75 cents for their leads that they would bring to me. And so, really, I say it depends also on the area you're in. So for a higher end area, I say you can pay them $5 per lead. But if it, if you're in an area where there's a lot of vacant properties and it won't be too hard to find any, I say $1 is fine, $2 is fine. So it all depends, and so you just either you communicate with your bird dog to see what you want to do, or you might already have a system yourself and you can just go ahead and be like, hey, look, this is what I'm going to pay you, whatever the case may be. So yeah. Pay per task. So being a bird dog is not just about the leads, okay? You are also, if you are a bird dog, you're gaining experience, so you can do different tasks that a wholesaler might do for them to gain their leads. And so you can pay for, I used to get paid for putting out bandit signs, putting notices or flyers on doors, doing different tasks, and you pay them for that activity. Going to properties and taking, okay, all right, going to properties and taking pictures, that is a good one. I was paid, I believe, $15 for every property that I would visit. I would pay my bird dogs $10 roughly, and so yeah, that is those are some of the activities that you can do, or for example, that you could pay your bird dogs per task for. You could be doing a whole different thing that I didn't mention, but make sure the pay is fair for the task that they're doing. Okay. All right, so here's where we get into not necessarily the tricky thing, but you just make sure you do things carefully, okay? A percentage of all your closings. So, with that being said, that means, yeah, you don't necessarily have to do volume, but if that bird dog is with you, once a week, a few times a week or whatever, and they're doing consistent work with you, you can go ahead and just cut them a percentage of every deal that you get, okay? So it would make sense for you to pay somebody 1%, 2%, 3%, even up to 10% of the deals you're closing if they're helping you on a regular basis and you're, working with them, they're gaining experience, working around you, whether you're doing mentorship or anything like that. I'd say if you're doing mentorship, maybe a lower percentage, but if you're not mentoring them and they're still helping you with everything, anywhere from like 1 to maybe 5%, I think that's fair. Pay at assignment. Now, this is another one of the ideas you could do to keep things simple if they are bringing you deals. So, when you get the contract, not at the closing, but when you get the contract and you know things are lined up to close already, you can go ahead and pay your bird dog whatever fee out of that. The thing is, you don't know how much money you're going to make, because maybe your buyer might negotiate with you and different things like that. But if you already have cash on hand, I recommend, you should already have cash on hand if you're working with people anyway. I don't think you should do things while you're broke too much, not when you're talking about paying people, but at the assignment, when the seller signs the contract with you, you can go ahead and pay your bird dog $500. I say anywhere from like $100 to $1,500, possibly $2,500, just depending on the deal and how much of a spread there is. And so in that situation, you really don't know how much money you're going to make on the wholesale end. Now, that's where you would probably want to go with the $100 to $500, just in case your buyer tries to negotiate. But in this particular case right here, the next point, I will tell you how you can go ahead and give your bird dog more money without there being too much of a stretch or too much of an issue, okay? Let's see how much time we got here. This is probably going to be one of the shorter videos, but it just depends. Now, this one, not many people talk about it too much, but I believe this is the best option. But I know for a lot of people, they don't really want their bird dogs to be involved with a lot of the situations that go on in closing, or getting involved in too many contracts, unless it has something directly to do with whether being paid as an employee or not. So this point I'm making here, I do think it's a really, really good idea. So the same way you can do a JV contract with somebody is the same way you can work with your bird dog. So you pay with an assignment contract. That means they will have to wait until closing the same way you do, but you have their assignment contract in there with you. So your assignment contract says, I'm Ellie assigning the contract to, I'll just use my mentor for example, to Hamza. He's buying the property from me, okay? If I had a bird dog who brought me that lead, I could say, John, I'll just use the name John for example. So I'm getting, let's just say, $5,000. John, let's say I'm giving him $1,000. So I could say in a JV contract, John is getting $1,000 and I am getting $4,000 from that deal. The whole assignment is $5,000, but John is getting $1,000 and I'm getting $4,000 over here. Okay? So that's what you can do. Send it over there and he'll get his check from the title company. He will appear as a wholesaler though. That's the thing. John will appear as a wholesaler unless you put it in the documents that it was for a bird dog assignment, but I don't think the title companies are on to that type of thing yet. That'll raise a lot of questions. There's really nothing wrong with it. You can take the time out to explain. You could show them the Bird Dog Real Estate Group. You could show them this video even if you want to, and just be like, they are involved in this deal, so this really is a joint venture, but I'm the one taking care of the paperwork and everything, so that's why John's fee is $1,000, mine is $4,000. Just explain to them you want to just make sure you are legally paying somebody and you're not doing anything incorrectly or illegal, okay? So that's the whole reason you would do that. So yeah, that's it. Aside from hiring people as actual W-2, W-9 employees, and also you could do a 1099, which will go to pay per task, somewhat. Those are the ways that you can pay your bird dogs, and I hope that this video is very helpful, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, bird dog family. Bird dog family, it's Ellie, and today's question of the day, continuing and finalizing our series talking about the six-figure bird dog system for wholesalers mastermind. It is, what is the benefit of a mastermind group for your wholesale real estate business and bird dog team? Now, the first point I really want to make is community, period. Community. So, what I observed over the past few years, talking about bird dogs, talking about the concept of getting into the real estate industry without necessarily becoming a wholesaler, because, you know, like, contracts may freak people out. People may not know how to talk to sellers. People may not know about the whole negotiation process, but they want to go ahead and get into the real estate industry. Different things like that. Being around people who can help you is really what just boosted a lot of people's confidence. I noticed that in the Bird Dog Real Estate community on Facebook. And what I want to do in the mastermind group is have the same concept except for wholesalers who may feel weird about adding people to their team. Like, let's just say that someone, I don't recommend this, but let's say someone joined the mastermind group and they don't have a lot of capital saved up. What do you say to somebody saying, hey, I don't have money right now, but I'll pay you if you do this thing? That sounds weird, but if you explain the concept like, hey, like the video I posted yesterday, if you find me this deal, I can have it in a contract where I can pay you this amount of money. Then it's like, okay, well, how does that work? You can show them the video. You can show them by example. You can diagram it. You can talk about how deal structure works. You can talk about assignment contracts, and you'll have something to present to someone. How else would you get that information, though, if you're not part of a community who can share ideas? We can bump heads in a positive way and have, like, clean, nice debates about what would be ethical, what isn't ethical, but also making sure that we're being there for each other in good ways. Hi, pure Ethiopian blood. How are you? And so with that community, we're also bringing each other up, bringing each other ideas, sharing different strategies that we're all doing, how we're hiring people, different ways to find people. Like, you can use the bandit sign strategy to find people. You can find people on Craigslist. You can find people on Facebook. You can find people on Instagram even. So different ideas like that. It's all what I want in the community. That's all. The entire focus is making sure that we're all together and we all are on one accord in the same concept of hiring different people. Hi, dear. I'm fully with this movement. That's awesome. That's great, great, great. So there's a lot of more information. I have, I think, 4 other IGTV videos, and then I will be reposting these to the Facebook page and the Facebook group. So if you want to rewatch those, they're all available now. So another benefit is the free education that you already get. Currently, we already have a YouTube channel for the Bird Dog Real Estate community, but primarily everything is in the Bird Dog Real Estate group. A subgroup along with the mastermind group is called the Bird Dog Experts, and that is where I took the similar concept of the mastermind group, where people paid a small fee to be part of the Bird Dog Experts, where I literally taught them how to be bird dogs. So I made that group free. I'm no longer actively producing content the way that I was before, and I was giving those members specific attention and answering their questions on demand at that time. I'm no longer doing that, but all the content is still there, and it's all for free, so you can watch it to educate yourself on what bird dogs could possibly be doing for you and your business. And when you get your bird dogs, you can have them join that group so they can learn exactly what they could do, what they would like to do as far as being part of your wholesale real estate operation. And then, of course, they can get some inspiration on either becoming a wholesaler or starting their own bird dog business. And one of the biggest concepts that I pretty much joining in those 2 concepts that I just mentioned, as far as community and having the free education, is social learning. I study and I share only so much. I know it seems like a lot, but I learned a lot from you guys. Everybody who's in the Bird Dog Real Estate community, I learned so much from everyone who joins. I have private conversations with people, whether it be by DM or phone call, email, whatever the situation is. I learned a lot from you. And so when I also see other people teaching each other, that's pretty much the beauty in it. That's really all I want, is social learning, everyone learning together, bringing new concepts, new ideas, ways to innovate and bring everyone together, and not just in this community, but in real estate in general, because there's always this preconceived idea that real estate is only for certain types of people, where anyone, I believe that everyone should be in the real estate industry somewhat. In some sort of way, everyone should be in the real estate industry. I really feel like real estate is just as important as money, but that's another concept that I will be discussing in the mastermind group. So the main concept here is social learning, learning from each other, not just me spewing out information that I've gathered from whether it be studying or talking to other people, but everyone educating each other, whether you're the one who's learning, asking someone else questions, or if you're the person who may have a few years of experience and you're able to share it with other people. And, adding on with this, brain picking, but not in the way that, kind of got offensive within the last couple of years. I know that people don't even want to hear that term anymore because people would take advantage of it. But experienced individuals in the mastermind will be there. There are already a few people that I know on a first name basis pretty much who have had plenty of experience with bird dogs, and so I've been talking to them over the past few years. They're already in the group. We're not all too active at the moment. What we're going to be doing is communicating with everyone who joins the group over the next about like month or two, but they're there. And with some of them, I have interviews already placed, whether it be on YouTube, in the Facebook group, or on the Facebook page, where you can already see their expertise, whether they're educating me or asking me certain questions, and you can see where their mindset already is and where they can go ahead and share information with you, or you could possibly give them some information that they didn't know. Who knows? And then the more we are all strengthening each other, the better the real estate industry will be. I know some of you may have heard that in 3 states, I know it's Illinois, Ohio, I forgot the other state, wholesaling is actually illegal without a real estate license now. You can't even make an offer. Even if you're a flipper, an experienced flipper, you're not even allowed to make offers in certain states without having a real estate license. So you would have to get an agent to make an offer for you in a lot of those cases now. That's where we are in the real estate industry, the real estate investing industry. So that's why I find it very, very important for us to do more things like this. I'm not the only person with a mastermind group. I'm not the only person educating people. I feel like it's very important for all of us to come together. Yes, because like, that's just what it is. That's, this isn't a selfish thing for me. Like, the information I'm giving now, people pay for it, but I'm like, I don't mind giving away this type of information for free. And once we join in the mastermind group, even if you're in the free groups, in the Bird Dog Real Estate group or in the Bird Dog Experts, all of us coming together and sharing information is what's vital. Destiny Plan Properties, hi, how are you? Thank you for joining the live. Okay, and this is primarily for my more experienced investors, whether you're a wholesaler, buyer, flipper, whatever the case may be. Give advice, because helping others helps you. Coming from a selfish perspective, you're helping me. So that's my little jokey joke, but seriously, it's not me specifically, because I'm not asking for any money for you to educate people or anything like that. I just think it's really good for experienced investors to go ahead and reach out to, and this isn't an age thing, but whether it be younger investors as far as being young in their real estate careers, I think it's very important for people to go ahead and open up, share their secrets, and do everything like that, because as we all know, in the climate of 2020, we have a lot of things going on. Like, it's pretty noisy outside right now because of the rain with Hurricane Laura. That hurricanes, those produce real estate deals. Everything going on in the economy, those will produce real estate deals. Yes, it's good for us, but we also have to make sure the mindset is there where people aren't going in all the way money hungry. So we have to make sure the mindset is formed to where you're giving people advice, not just about this is how a deal works, this is how much money you can make, blah, 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 blah. No, it's also, this is how you approach your seller. This is how you have compassion without being wrapped up emotionally in a deal. This is how you do this. This is how you do that. This is how you develop relationships. That's really where I'm going with this type of thing, not so much the money aspect of it. Because we're in real estate. We're trying to make some money. That's not the question. The question is making sure we're doing everything ethically, and are we doing it for the right reason, and are we making sure that both the seller, ourselves, and the buyer wins. That's really all I'm trying to get at when it comes to certain things like this, and when I ask more experienced investors to give advice. And the final point I would like to make is our mission statement. I have been this is kind of like on the spiritual aspect a little bit, so if this freaks you out, I apologize. But our mission statement for the six-figure Bird Dog System for Wholesalers is: the six-figure Bird Dog System for Wholesalers helps so many investors reach their financial goals. The six-figure Bird Dog System for Wholesalers brings so many bird dogs to reliable investors. The six-figure Bird Dog System for Wholesalers boosts the economy of every active real estate market. The reason I made that the mission statement was, of course, finances. People would like for their finances to be at a certain point. Community, making sure bird dogs are with ethical investors, not just anybody who's going to take advantage of them. And 3, we're helping the community. We're helping the economy. We're helping the entire country by doing what we're doing. By making sure that we are on our P's and Q's, we're also ensuring the well-being of other people in the entire country. I live in Memphis, which is a pretty hot real estate market, so I'm kind of lucky to have that as my local market. But in other cities as well, it's going to, Hurricane Laura, just for example, has hit so many different cities across the South, and it's gone up to, I think, Virginia, if I'm not mistaken, North Carolina, that area. It could be going up even further. I'm not sure, but the entire point is to help people, not just in the real estate industry, but also the homeowners who are also being affected by everything happening right now, whether it be natural disaster or just the economy in general with everything going on in 2020. So I would really hope that you guys understand what the message I'm trying to send here. This video will be available to rewatch on IGTV. I will be re-uploading it to the Facebook page and the Facebook group, and also on YouTube for certain people. Not everybody will be able to watch it on YouTube until I get like the full edited version of all the videos together. I really appreciate all of you who have been watching these 5 videos over the past week. I will be getting together with different people in the mastermind group, the moderators of Bird Dog Real Estate, and everyone who wants to be involved in this movement. I really appreciate everyone for being part of this community, and let's just see where 2020 takes us, man. Thank you guys so much, and I will talk to you later, Bird Dogs. Bye-bye. Have a great day.